Hi, I'm Megan, and I'm out here in Orange County, California. We gather friends from Cincinnati and friends who are locals to meet and do life together. I'm from Cincinnati originally, and I actually met Jesus while I was a college student at the University of Cincinnati through Crossroads. When I was a college student, this is a great way to invite your friends to church if you ever need one. I had some friends who said, come over for a girls' wine night. We're having wine at our house in our living room. Great way to bait and switch your friends into a Bible study, which is what I walked into in my friend's living room. I met Jesus there. I got baptized in a bar. It was awesome. And now I live in Orange County, California, and do life with some awesome people out here. Just this last weekend, I had an opportunity to talk about what life is like being in community. When I had a friend come visit California and say, how did you make so many friends after college? Nobody makes friends after college that easily, and that's super hard to do. What is your secret? And I said, the Crossroads Anywhere map. You obviously just go to church and you make friends at church. Like, what does any 23-year-old do? That's super normal, right? And encouraged her to go seek that out because I have found the most amazing community out here. And get to encourage her on towards her faith and getting to seek that out for herself because that is where joy comes from, is from friends and having community like this. When I was in college and met Jesus, it was not easy at first. It was super crazy to be in a world filled with people who were always wanting to go out. And I used to want to do that, and I still did, but I didn't want to at the same time because I really wanted to live the life that God had for me and walk away from some of those things as hard as it was. So when I met Jesus, I was living with my best friend at the time, literally sharing a room. And my friends, my roommates, people I was in class with would say things like, why aren't you fun anymore? Like, what happened to you? Why don't you do the things you used to do? And I actually got to say all the time, well, I go to this awesome church. You should come with me. I want you to have your life changed, and I want you to experience the joy that I've experienced in that community and knowing a life with God. So please come with me because that's the best gift you can give a friend, is to invite them to know the God who made them and who loves them. So at the end of college, right after graduation, I actually got to baptize my best friend who I was living with at the time. And there is no greater joy in the entire world than getting to do that. We were on a go trip together, and it was the coolest thing. And she gets to live in that same joy, and we get to share stories of what God is doing in our life all the time now, which is so incredible. Now in the workplace, I just recently had something happen in my professional life, which most people think has nothing to do with your church life or with God, but really it does. I've learned a lot about money. I've learned a lot about how to be a hard worker. I've learned a lot about how to do the things I say I'm going to do, and how to be good on my word and really be a great employee because of the things I've learned in church. I was in my desk recently and I had the funniest, coolest thing happen. I found out I was getting a tax return, and I live in California, so if you don't know that means no one gets a tax return, it means that you don't get a tax return. It's not a thing that happens, but because I was tithing and just giving the way that I learned to handle my money, my coworkers asked me, well, how the heck did you get a tax return? What do you do? And I got to talk to them about giving and why I give, and that was not a big deal for me. So recently in a staff meeting, I had a coworker say to me, I've really been thinking differently about how I want to spend my money and how I want to be generous because of what you said and because of what that inspired in me. So that was that brought me so much joy to be able to experience someone else taking that on for themselves and hopefully getting to now be generous as well. So in all of these different stages of life, or whether it's someone from the past reaching out saying, hey, I've noticed your joy on social media. I'm going through a really hard time, and you just are full of joy, and you have great friends, and that's not really common in the world we live in today. What's the secret? Well, the secret is Jesus. The secret is you go to church and you make good friends and you live in community with other people and you get to do fun things together and you get to gather in homes like this with amazingly hospitable people, and you get to do that because of following Jesus. So in any different setting in life, in any different scenario, there is so much joy in sharing Jesus with friends and in inviting them with you to experience the life that you have because of your life with Jesus. And it's brought so much joy to my life, and it will bring so much joy to your life as well. And if you're on the Crossroads on your map and are looking for somewhere to go on vacation or take your group, your living room full of people on a domestic go trip, come join us out here in California. It's amazing. And this is the best place in the world to do church and do life with people. So